There's a reason some men are forgotten in days, while others stay in a woman's mind for years. It's not always looks. It's not money. And it's definitely not chasing her harder. Because the men women remember the longest usually do something different. They make her feel something deeper than attraction. They create emotional impact, mystery, safety, respect, presence. And in today's world, where most men are desperate for attention, the man who carries true Stoic energy becomes unforgettable. In this video, you'll discover 4 powerful things women never forget about a man, and why these behaviors make you stand out in a way most men never will. Watch closely, because number 4 changes everything. He stays calm when everyone else reacts. The first thing a woman never forgets is a man who stays calm under pressure. Most men are emotionally loud. They get jealous quickly. They overreact. They panic when they feel ignored. They lose control the moment something doesn't go their way. But the Stoic man? He remains centered. When she pulls back, he doesn't chase. When life gets difficult, he doesn't collapse. When tension rises, he doesn't become needy, dramatic, or insecure. And that calmness is rare. Because calmness in a man signals strength. It tells her, this man is not ruled by emotion. He can lead himself. He can protect peace. Women may not always say it out loud, but they deeply remember the man who made them feel safe in chaos. Not because he was perfect, but because his energy didn't shake. And in a world full of emotional instability, stability becomes unforgettable. 2. He gives attention, but never begs for it. The second thing women never forget is a man who values connection, without losing himself in the process. Most men make the same mistake. The moment they like a woman, they overgive. Too many texts, too much explaining, too much validation, too much emotional pressure. And what starts as interest quickly becomes desperation. But the Stoic man understands something powerful. Attention is meaningful only when it comes from self-respect. He can be warm. He can be present. He can make a woman feel seen. But he never abandons his standards just to keep her around. He doesn't beg to be chosen. He doesn't chase after silence. He doesn't throw away his dignity for temporary affection. And that creates something most men never build. Respect. A woman may forget compliments. She may forget flirty messages. She may forget gifts. But she rarely forgets the man who made her feel valued without ever looking needy. That balance is powerful, because the man who can care deeply without becoming desperate feels rare, and rare men are remembered. 3. He knows when to walk away. The third thing women never forget is a man who knows when enough is enough. This is where most men fail. They stay too long. They tolerate mixed signals. They accept disrespect. They keep trying to win her over, even when the energy is clearly one-sided. Why? Because they're afraid of losing her. But the Stoic man understands a hard truth. If you fear losing someone more than you fear losing yourself, you've already lost. That's why he walks away when peace disappears. Not to manipulate. Not to punish. Not to play games. But because he knows his value. He understands that love without respect becomes suffering. Connection without consistency becomes confusion. And attachment without boundaries becomes weakness. When a woman meets a man who can leave instead of begging, it shocks her. Because it's uncommon. Most men cling. Few men detach with dignity. And that kind of strength leaves a mark. She may not admit it, but she will remember the man who chose self-respect over emotional addiction. Because walking away from what disrespects you is one of the loudest forms of masculine power. He makes her feel deeply, without trying too hard. The fourth thing women never forget is a man whose presence feels different. Not loud. Not performative. Not fake alpha behavior. Just real. He speaks with intention. He listens without rushing. He holds eye contact. He's not trying to impress every second. He doesn't fill silence with nervous energy. And because of that, every interaction feels heavier, more grounded, more memorable. This is the hidden power of Stoicism. It's not about being cold. It's about being composed. It's about carrying a quiet certainty that makes people feel your presence, without you forcing it. A woman may meet hundreds of men who talk too much, flex too much, chase too much, and try too hard. But the man who makes her feel calm, curious, and emotionally stirred, without performing for validation, that man stays in her mind. Because unforgettable men don't create attachment through effort alone. They create it through emotional impact. And emotional impact comes from self-control, mystery, presence, boundaries, and depth. That is why Stoic men are so hard to replace. So if you want to become the kind of man a woman never forgets, stop trying to be more impressive. Start becoming more grounded. Because women don't remember the loudest man. They remember the man who made them feel something real. The man who stayed calm. The man who respected himself. The man who didn't beg. The man who could walk away. The man whose presence spoke louder than his words. That is Stoic power. If you want more videos on female psychology, masculine presence, and Stoic attraction, subscribe now. Because the next lesson may be the one that changes how people feel when you walk into a room.